Hello, how you doing? Okay, so this is part two. Part one was called the Lionsgate Portal. This is still on that subject. The Lionsgate Portal is about being introspective, which is pretty interesting considering that's exactly what the beast can't do. 666, of course, is narcissism. Being introspective is not emotion that a narcissist can go through, at least not in any genuine, real way. So I thought I was going to do part two later that same night when I got home from work, but I needed more time to think about it, to do the introspective work a little bit more, because it's my life can be kind of described like a roller coaster, uh, I'm consistent in ways, but like I get criticized for being emotional and sensitive and stuff, but that's very much guilty as charged. I'm an empath, so I'm like off the charts, intuitive, sensitive, and emotional, just off the charts on all those things. So very, very, very true, and I resent how they say that, like trans women are just sensitive. People need to stop being so sensitive. That's the same type of abuse I get from my siblings. Every time things don't go my way and I have a fit, you're just being sensitive, and things like that. But the mind of a narcissist would say that, because if you really care about someone and you really care about people, you notice that not everybody's the same. Some people are going to be sensitive, and why shouldn't they be able to be sensitive? Why shouldn't some people be sensitive? And why shouldn't their sensitivity be appreciated? My sensitivity, you could pay me money for my sensitivity. Like I could be easily be a psychologist. I probably wouldn't even have to go to school. Give me the test, I'll pass the test. I study psychology on YouTube and things like that. I'm a Moon Pisces empath. Someone just like me probably invented psychology in the first place, like that's just a cakewalk. I can do things like that just in my sleep, no problem. But yeah, I can be really emotional. So I mentioned this just to like kind of like defend my soul, defend myself, Like if I'm walking down the sidewalk and there's a bunch of bugs on the sidewalk, I walk around them. Like I try, like sometimes I'll walk down the sidewalk, I'll see an ant crawling on the sidewalk, and I'll just burst into tears just because of all the just passionate love I have for that ant, And it's the same with everything. I love the rocks, I love the leaves, I love every single person, even my enemies. Like, like when I look at humans, like if I just focus in on any one human, in no time I can be just like filled with just intense love for anybody, When I'm walking through downtown and I see homeless people and they're like rocking their head and things like that, I'm just like, oh, because I used to rock my head when I was a little kid, and now like I can read minds, like I can absorb energies and things like that, and I cry all the time. Was it this morning? Yeah, this morning, when I said that was this morning, this homeless woman was rocking her head, and I just started just bawling, walking down the sidewalk. That's me, I'm very emotional, and I care intensely about everybody and love and care about everybody. I would describe conservative Republican Christians, Mormons, born-again Christians, those are my enemies. Those people are my enemies. And I still love them, like if you said, your enemies, we can make them pay, I'd be like, no, don't hurt them. I don't want anybody, even people that are trying to hurt me, I don't want to see them suffer. I don't want to see them hurt in any way. But at the same time, if a bug's in my house, I kill it. I have a right to kill bugs in my house. It's unclean and dangerous. This is my space. Self-defense, if a human, if I have the green light go, if I believe that I have a right to kill someone in self-defense, boom, I'm going to do it. No problem. I probably won't even feel bad about it. Maybe a little bit. I sure hope I don't have to do that, but yeah, I'm also kind of like a street light, turning on. You can turn me on and off, I can be really emotional and everything, and if it's green light go on don't be emotional and kill them, I'll just beep. I can click. You can just hit the button and boom. I'll go kill them. I'll go kill that bug or whatever, that snake that's in my house trying to kill my family or something. So just like there's no problem. That's no problem too. If I can control it like that. So that's the reason I mention that, and what that has to do with the Lionsgate portal is when I say that I'm happier alone up in the mountains, even in my imagination when I try to figure out my goals and stuff, if me saying that hurts anyone's feelings, that's like, oh, I thought you were happiest when you're around me, like I'm happy when I'm around, when I'm around my son, or when I'm around, my family, like my ex and her husband and their little girl who's my son's sister and stuff like that. I consider them my family. I'm happy when I'm around them, and I probably am even more happy when I'm in my imagination up in the mountains. But I just beg you, please don't take that personal and don't have your feelings hurt. Like when I say I don't want to be around people and I want to be alone, the last thing I would want in a million years is for that to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just a person trying to take care of myself, like born again Christians and Mormons and people like that. They are really bad for my health. The reason that I feel that way about them is because they're trying to hurt me, and you have to understand those people, and that's why my emotions that I'm feeling now, that's what that's about, I'm frustrated that if I'm really happy and everything, and just high vibration happy and everything, then it makes those kind of people angry and bitter, and it makes them mad, and I ruin their day, But then if I'm sad and having my down thing and I'm emotional and I'm not having a good day, you should see them. It just lights them up. If you want to cheer up a group of born again Christians or Mormons, then just have me just put me in the middle of them, and I'll just say, don't catch me at a moment when I'm really low and feeling kind of suicidal. And not that I would ever commit suicide. I just have a history with depression and suicide, so those feelings and thoughts can come rushing in at times. And I'm a hard person to be. Everybody's a hard person to be, but one of my biggest struggles is just that, trying to take care of my thoughts, for the sake of taking care of myself, because sometimes it gets really heavy. I get suicidal pretty much in my thoughts and stuff, and I have to try to just take care of myself like I'm my own baby, and say, okay, just don't hang out with those kind of people, things like that. It's just so just dealing with the different hypocrisies of those kind of enemies. Like they say, being transgender is not natural. It's like, give me a break. You guys don't care about natural. Are you trying to legalize marijuana? Are you trying to legalize peyote? Are you do you use herbal medications and not use synthetic medications? And do you if you had a cancer, would you have it removed? God made cancer. How's it different if you're a trans man, your breasts removed, or a trans woman having her penis removed? How is that any different than having your cancer removed? If God made transgender people, and God made cancer, then God gave us brains that can figure things out too, and we can invent how to remove cancer and things like that. So it's just there's nothing intelligent about their perspective. It's not based on science. They're all the creation story, Adam and Eve, and that. It's like, in the beginning's a bad translation, stupid. In the beginning doesn't mean in the beginning of all time. It's kind of like saying once upon a time, like sorting a story, once upon a time, and then well, it's about the creations and creating you don't even know what the tetragrammaton is. Ask your preacher, say, excuse me, Mormon bishop, what's the tetragrammaton? And they'll be, I don't know. They don't know what the tetragrammaton is. How are you going to have someone teach you about the Bible that doesn't even know what the tetragrammaton is? That makes that person officially dipshitted to the farthest extreme. That's the tetragrammaton is Yahweh, YHWH, and what it means. You know? It's dipshitted. It means fire, water, air, and earth. The church is within. You know, God's within, and not a man in the sky is what it means. You know, so, and we create things from within. So the creation story is just recapping, you know, that who the deity is, and that we're connected to creation, we're connected to everything. You're one with the tree, you're one with the rock, you're one with the mountain, you're one with the earth. You know, it just means that. It doesn't mean that it's how the earth was created. The Bible's not a book of science, and probably 80% of the Bible's fiction, and that's a fact. We can prove it. And you know, so like they don't even know like their ignorance is outstanding, just outrageous, you know, and they're just, none of their points or have anything to do with reality. So basically, when I say that, you know, I just want to get bottom surgery and live my life, and it gets my age, I'm 51 years old. My age group, we're right in between, you know, like the old ways and the new ways. So we break in society, you know. We're the first ones to do everything, you know. And so and I'm kind of like leading my generation. I'm ahead of the people in my generation, you know. So I'm used to breaking in new concepts and new things, and then 5, 10 years later, or 15 years later, everybody else catches up. And you know, this is the same thing, you know. There's, you know, just like it's no different. Like, to understand, like when they say trans women don't belong in the bathroom, that's what they used to say about gay guys in men's bathrooms, you know. Like it's just, you can see with history that the things that they're saying and the things that they're doing and the things that they're basing it on, they're all tactics that they've used in the past. And now the current thing for them is picking on transgender people, you know. It's just a matter of time before they'll look so stupid doing it that even them and their narcissistic, I can't introspect minds, even that they'll be able to be at least that introspective that they'll realize that they're making a dipshit out of themselves, you know. So it's just a matter of time. So, you know, I realize these things, but that's why I just, you know, that's why I make these videos. That's why I bother doing this, because I don't really care about my life. I'm not going to have a good life. I'm too old. Not because I'm old, like old, but old because the world, you know, by the time the world gets it, I'm going to be a senior citizen, and, you know, I'm going to be in an old folk. Hopefully I won't be in an old folks home, but I mean, I'm going to be like old. When I'm in my 70s and 80s and stuff like that, these things will all be in the past, you know. And the younger generation will be able to cash in on it, you know, because the real question is being transgender, you know, not being transgender, but if society embraces transgender people, you know, and accept it as natural, then is that going to make society is that going to help people and make people's lives better, and we're all connected and consequently make all society better? Is it good for humanity, or is it bad for humanity, you know? And you know, the people that argue against it, they have no non-biblical sources. They're like, yes, I do. I have the Quran. The Quran's the same damn thing. You know, the Quran, you know, Islam's more respectable, much more respectable than Christianity. You know, if you're interested in like the reality, and that's another thing for another day. But it doesn't mean that Islam and even Judaism's also better. Christianity's like kind of stupid, even though. Truth is, I pray to Jesus and Mary. You know, you might call me a Christian, but I wouldn't want you to, because I think Christians are the biggest idiots on the planet. You know, but if Jesus was standing here, Jesus would love me. Jesus would go, yeah, right on. He'd be Jesus in his dreadlocks and his cannabis smoking ways and everything. I'd be like, yeah, dude. And he's like, oh, you know what I like about Angie? That she loves my mom and thinks my mom's totally awesome. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I do. High five. Jesus would love me in real life. You know, the real Jesus. You know. And so it's not Jesus and Mary. Those are some of my favorite people, you know. And I also love the Bible. I've spent so much of my life studying the Bible. There's no lack of love for the things they claim they believe. It's just that they're just so stupid.